You know, we've seen this stuff coming from Japan. We've seen it coming from the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
And your designs rival anything that I've seen.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
It's custom. It's nice artistic work, which I have none of, by the way. You know, stick figures I'm relatively good at. But
I can carve fish, but when someone says, well, can you make a picture of my mom? I'm like, yeah, stick figure. I can't do faces.
No kidding. Well, we've got a variety of baits here. Let's do a little show and tell. Show me what I see. Bluegill imitations, little ones, big. I see build looks like wake baits.
I can kind of start with the history. The first bait that I really came out with was big, and we call this the Hoochie Mama. It's a wake bait. This was probably my first successful bait, and I have a pretty good following on Facebook, Instagram, and then my internet site or my website. But this was the first one that everybody first looked at because it was so much different than everything else on the market.
Right.
But it has a big bulging head.
It does.
And I put a pretty good sized lip in it. I kept it back to trial and error. When I first started, the lip was little. Well, it wasn't swimming. Well, finally I got it to where it would swim in the water and make a giant wake, and the resin clicks together and the tail moves water, and it just makes the right kind of noise, and they'll just come up and just explode on it.
Right.
And then I actually have a smaller version of this I didn't bring this is called the Hoochie Mama, and I have the Hoochie Baby. That was my first successful bait, and then I moved on.
And just to comment on this,
okay,
this bait is like, to me, the original 1- was a big light bulb, but this and a big head like this.
Right.
But this has the additional. It's jointed in two places, so it looks like it has. Well, obviously has even more action.
The water pushes on each side when you have your lip. You know, people know how to tune a bait.
Yeah.
But it just clicks, and the slower you move it, the louder it clacks, and then this moves water too, and it actually it makes racket up on top.
Right. Well, it's amazing. It's amazing looking bait, and you guys watching at home, you've heard me say this before, but you probably hearing it for the first time. Matt, is anything that touches the table stays on the table when you leave. But continue down, because these are awesome. I got to have some of these. Continue down. So this was your first bait, the Hoochie Mama.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that name?
That's kind of a funny story. You guys want a funny story? I'll give you a good one. I was actually, I have 3 sisters. I'm the oldest.
Yep.
My mom used to drag me shopping with my sisters, and my sisters would always be pulling out dresses for my mom. What about this for church? What about this? And one of my mom's favorite sayings was, "Oh, I can't wear that. That'd make me look like a Hoochie Mama." So when I painted a bait with a bunch of weird colors, I was like, "I'll name it after Mama, Hoochie Mama." Right?
That's awesome.
That's the story of
Mom
it. So
loves
it's stuck.
Mom loves the Hoochie Mama
saying
is what she's been named.
So now she says she's the OG Hoochie Mama.
OG.
Original gangster Hoochie Mama.
Well, I guess that bait's coming out next.
Yeah.
So we got the Hoochie Mama, and you had some you experienced success with the wake bait, and what happened next?
Well, I got into crankbaits for a while, and then glide baits became kind of popular in the last few years. And this is not a glide, but this is actually a shad bait, but the difference in the joint, like a glide bait has one single joint in the middle where the tail acts like a rudder. Well, I actually have another. The beauty of my stuff is in my shop, I actually have a single piece bait that I carved. So then I can cut it. I could make a jointed bait out of it, or I could make a glide bait out of it. I actually bought the jointed one on this one, but I actually have this in a glide too. But it's going to be similar to this. And that's kind of been the thing that's been kind of popular in the last 4, 5, 6 years.
Yep.
And it's really good from pre-spawn, spawn to post-spawn, or when they're on the beds.
Yeah.
That's the experience that I've had in the South. Or when our water starts getting above 50 degrees. That's typically when I throw it, and it just, I don't know what it does. The way that it just glides to the left and glides to the right, it just brings the bass out. Something that just allures it. It's kind of like walking a spook in a slow motion under the water.
Right. It hypnotizes the fish. I've seen it happen. You just have pods of fish just follow these baits.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing to see the power that they have.
But I've got different sizes. I just brought this more as an example. But anyway.
Well, this is a glide. What's now? Let you explain. Now hold them up. We'll hold them up for just a few seconds so that the camera can follow them. This is a glide bait, right? It has one joint, and it glides. It operates in an S, but when you use an erratic retrieve, it'll glide.
It'll go
you can
quicker.
make it and tear off to the side, which this bait is different, right, from a multi-jointed bait. Explain to now this one has 3 joints. The difference in action. How does this move through the water?
Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Subscribe today.